And Dialante Daniels. We are doing part two of our mailbag episodes. You guys got some good questions. We're going to talk about the point guard position for next year for the Washington Wizards. Do the Wizards have a big three with Kyle Kuzma, Bradley Beal, and Kristaps Porzingis for next year? Also, you guys have questions about prospects if the Wizards do fall in that 10 to 13 spot. And then also, someone asked if the Wizards potentially get lucky and get a top three pick, who would we pick and who would be the best fit for the Washington Wizards? Let's get started.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. This episode today is brought to you by NBA Top Shot, the officially licensed NFT of the NBA. Connect with a community of hundreds of thousands of NBA fans as a natural progression of fantasy sports, a way to upgrade your experience as an NBA fan. All right, so first question of today is from Twitter. This one is from Elder Moshe on Twitter. It's ELDAR_MOSHE. So you guys put a lot of questions on Twitter and on YouTube. We're going to try our best to get to all of them. We won't get to all of them today, but shout out to you guys for submitting your questions. So Elder said, who should the Wizards pick in case of a top three pick? Let's say you can choose everyone. So I guess Elder is saying, who would you pick if we got a top three pick?
If we got a top three pick, if they're number one, probably go with Chet because I just want to see a Chet Porzingis front court at the 4 and 5. That seems fun. If they're number two, I'd say Jabari. I really like Jabari. If they're three, I'll go Jaden Ivey. I feel like I know which direction you may be going in it, but so if they're one, Chet, two, I'd say Jabari, three, I'd say Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think Jabari has the most or the highest ceiling out of all the guys in the draft. I think he's the number one guy for me. It's between him and Jaden for me. I love the way Jaden plays. I think Jaden is a guy that you can just build on. Jabari is too. But man, if I had the first pick, I'd probably go with Jabari. Even though they got bounced in the second round, and Jabari got dunked on by the guy from Miami. I want to say his last name is Wong. But I think it's a win-win. I think Jaden, he can change your franchise. You can build around him. But man, if I go with the first pick, I'm going to go Jabari. Number two, I'm going Jaden. Number three, I'm actually going Paolo. I really like Paolo's game. The way he took over, I forgot who Duke played in the second round, but he's just
Michigan
a great
State.
passer. Who did they play?
Michigan State.
Yeah, he just controlled the game. He was knocking down threes. He could put the ball on the floor. He can handle the ball. He can pass. The big man from Duke, Mike Williams, he gets a lot of spoon-fed buckets from Paolo. So Paolo can play point forward. So he's my third pick. I know there were some bad games that Paolo had. The Virginia game where he missed a lot of shots, and everybody was saying his stock is falling. But his ceiling is definitely off the charts for me too. So, and he would be a big wing that the Wizards need. They need a big wing that can score and bring some physicality. He's athletic, which the Wizards don't have. But Jaden, Jaden, just the explosiveness off of first step. When he gets the ball, he's so explosive. He can get to the rim. He can finish above the rim. He can shoot threes. He hit a three basically from the logo in the second round game. He's some clutch threes too. So, I mean, and he did a behind the back John Wall type layup the other day that I saw too. So, I love this class. I really like this class. I don't think you can go wrong with three. Chet for me is like fourth. I do have concerns about the playing strength. I know he's super, super talented. Like Evan Mobley, they had questions about his strength too. But he's fourth for me.
Yeah, and that's why for Chet, if you have him at the 4 next to somebody like similar to how Evan Mobley is with Cleveland, he has a perfect match at the 5 next to him. He has a bigger guy, Jared Allen, down there. And sometimes there's been games where Evan Mobley has been playing the 5 where Jared Allen has currently been injured. And Evan Mobley has been holding his own down there. He's been playing really well at that 5 spot. I like Chet, man. I really do. I know the frame thing, guys coming out with the frame is always interesting. It's curious because it's like, dang. Because you think about guys like Joel, think about guys like Nikola, etc. You're like, man, they may get crushed. But I think Chet has a lot of talent. Jaden, I love Jalen. Jabari, I think the kid his talent level is extraordinary, and it'll only get better as he gets older. He's 19 right now.
Yeah.
And then Paolo, I'm more iffy about him. I know you're really high on him. He did have a really good Michigan State game, so that kind of upped him for me a little bit more. But I would have had him 4th. But I mean, that can always change if especially as the tournament continues to go on as well.
Right. Yeah, Jabari, and he's a 3. He can shoot threes. He's had multiple games where he's made like 5 or 6 or 7 threes, so he can get hot from the 3. He provides basically what the Wizards don't have. They don't have a guy who's 6'10" who can shoot the 3. Well, they have Porzingis who's 7'3", but the Wizards definitely need more guys who are just long, athletic, and finish around the rim. The dunk he had in that first round game too, that was nasty, and the Wizards don't have enough of that. We're begging guys to go up and dunk the ball, and Jabari is not going to think twice about dunking on somebody. So that's what we really need. Joe Schwam, but that is a pipe dream. I don't think we're going to get it. I don't want to jinx anything. We'll see. Maybe the Wizards get lucky and get a top 3 pick. Cousin Smith, this is a quick one. He said he's on Twitter. His name is cousin_Smith. He said, have you started charging the Wizards for your therapy sessions? # pray for D and Ed.
They got an invoice for me on the way. So, let's see what they've done to me over the season. It's not good for the mental health, man. They got an invoice coming.
Right, yeah. I mean, we were just numb to the loss last night. It was just kind of like another day, to be honest. Like the Clippers game, yeah, we were upset. But that loss from the Rockets, it was just another day for the Wizards. Joe Swam on Twitter at Joe Swam, JOESWAM, says, assuming the Wizards wind up picking 10 to 13, this is more realistic right here in the draft. We could get lucky, I guess. Which 3 players in the upcoming draft do you like the best from that 10 to 13 spot?
I would say you could look at Eason. You can look at Eason for sure. Ty and I'll try Ajabi. So those guys right there, those 3. Those who I kind of will be looking at in that 10 or 13 range. Achai out of Kansas, I really do like him. I wouldn't mind if they picked him up if the Wizards were like that 10 spot. Ty, I know a lot of people cooled off on him after that loss to St. Peter's. And then Eason, I think he's all right. But I mean, out of those 3, I really wouldn't mind going with Achai. I really do like his game. He's an older guy, senior. He'll be 22, so pretty old for draft wise, but I really wouldn't be mad with him. Out of those 3, I may go Achai as my number 1 out of the 3 I just named.
Right, yeah. There's multiple guys. Right now, I love Benedict Mathurin. Like earlier in the year,
yeah, I think he's going to be gone by the time. If they're 10-13, I didn't bring him up because I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah, he is. After that 30-point game he had against TCU, then he dunked on the big man from TCU, Lampkin, who had a good game too. Like, yeah, Mathurin, he's going to be gone. Unfortunately, Johnny Davis, I like him from Wisconsin too. I'm just looking at a mock draft. Ty, his stock is going to drop, like you said, because of the St. Peter's loss. And there are a little concerns about him. He's 6'3", 195, which he kind of has that Tyrese Maxey build or kind of look to him, like floaters, float game, pick and roll, get into the basket a little bit. But yeah, his stock has dropped because he's been inconsistent. Like one game, he had an ankle injury too in the middle of the year, but he'll have like a 20-point game. The next game, he'll have like a 5-point game. So he's been inconsistent. Keegan Murray is interesting. He is 20 years old, I want to say, but he's like another forward, which the Wizards could use. But you kind of look at his game as like, is it going to translate to the NBA? sometimes I watch him like he's a really, really good college basketball player, but is the athleticism and the strength going to translate to the NBA? But like you said, Ochai, I like him from Kansas. He's a good 3-and-D guy, super athletic. There was like an inbounds alley-oop play in the Big 12 tournament that he caught for a dunk and was just ridiculous. And he's shooting lights out from the three. He's shooting over 40% from the three. Other guys, like you said, Tari, I don't know if he would fit here, but he can play. I mean, he's a good defender. He can shoot the three, put the ball on the floor. He's more like a power forward, though, so it would be an interesting fit. But, yeah, those are some of the guys I like. I would take Oche. But if they really want to take a swing on potential, Shaedon Sharpe, who was supposed to play at Kentucky, he didn't play a game this year. But he's got talent, man, and the Wizards need bucket getters. I like Jaden Hardy. You brought up Dyson Daniels earlier. He's kind of a project player out of the G League Elite, so he could help, but he's a project. So just those rookies, yeah, I would not expect much out of them their first year, but like their second, third years, then you would probably see more, which is normal for a rookie. But guys who are coming to impact right now, I'd probably say like Oche and Jaden Hardy. I would take a look at him. Possibly Shaedon Sharpe and Jalen Duran. He's in that range too, but it's another big man. So, but at the same time, we just need toughness and physicality. So I wouldn't be mad at getting him, but it's kind of a log jam with Gafford and KP. So it's just tough to find minutes for those guys.
Yeah, that's why I said my number one. I'm looking at it'll probably be Ochai and then Tata, because like you said, Eason, another big. So it's kind of like, and then Dyson Daniels. I think he has talent for sure, but I don't know when he'll be like ready to get legitimate playing time. I think Achai is a guy that you can put in there. He could compete. Got 4 years of college under his belt, really developed. I would expect him to come in and be one of those more NBA ready type guys. So if they're in that 10 to 13 range, that's kind of who I'm looking at.
Right. And then two more guys, I would say. Kennedy Chandler from Tennessee. He's playing a lot. He played a lot better towards the end of the year. They lost to Michigan in a tough one. He had a really good game. He's another point guard who's kind of like another Ty where they're small, 6'1", 6'2", can shoot the three. He's been lights out from the three-point line too. So I think he would be, if the Wizards are going to draft for a need point guard instead of like best player available, then, you would take a look at Kennedy Chandler. I think he's going to be good in the NBA. He'll be solid. I don't know about franchise guy, but I think him and Ty would be solid guys. Blake Wesley out of Notre Dame. I haven't watched him much, but that's another guy who's like a shooting guard / point guard that the Wizards will probably look at. I like one guy from Ohio State too. But before we get to some next questions here, we do have a word from Truebill. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. Truebill has over 2 million users and helps save them over $100 million. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. Go right now, Truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. It could save you thousands a year. This episode is also brought to you by NBA Top Shot. NBA Top Shot's the officially licensed NFT of the NBA. Connect with a community of hundreds of thousands of NBA fans as a natural progression of fantasy sports, a way to upgrade your experience as an NBA fan. This is the future of what being an NBA fan looks like. This is the part. Trading cards. Unlike trading cards, these aren't still images on cardboard. These are officially licensed NFTs of the greatest moments from NBA history. Akin to the stock market for the NBA, every day, millions of dollars worth of NFTs are traded back and forth between tens of thousands of NBA fans around the world. Investors include Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant, not to mention Will Smith. There are also a lot of NBA players in the community like Tyrese Halliburton, Cole Anthony, and Harrison Barnes. Top Shot moments can get you access to events and can be used in fantasy mini games on a regular basis. If you sign up for Top Shot today, the best way to start is by getting yourself a starter pack. You can pull an NFT of a superstar like LeBron or KD or star rookies like Cade Cunningham or Evan Mobley for just $9. If you didn't pull your favorite player from the starter pack, you can snag moments from the marketplace that appeal to you. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Now podcast, nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. It's free and available wherever you get podcasts. All right, so let's get to a couple of YouTube questions here. This is from Clivers on YouTube, Clyvers. He says, I have a lot of hope next season for the team getting Bill back and hopefully a fast passing point guard. I know it's early, but after seeing Kristaps play pretty well, how excited are you guys for next year? And he actually put this in 5 days ago, so I want to say this was after Porzingis had the big game against the Lakers.
How excited am I for next season? I mean, it really depends on how the draft goes and how free agency goes, because right now, I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard to get excited.
Yeah, you sound excited.
Yeah, it's hard to get excited. KP's been playing well, and that's really good. But, I mean, it's just so many issues that the team is showing that they have to get together before I'm really because they're not going to do what they did to me this season. When they give me hype, oh, we looking good, we looking decent. I know in the standings, the Bucks are better, Sixers are we still going to be in that. They're not doing that to me again. Never, no, they're not doing it. So I'm glad KP's playing well, definitely being featured in the offense. So, in that Lakers game, him closing that out, having that many points in the fourth quarter, that was really good to see. But, I mean, West and the coaching staff, they got to figure out their flaws. The point guard position, they got to figure it out. And just defensively, they have to be able to figure it out. I mean, because what worries me is right now, you look at Denny, Porzingis, Gafford, Satoransky, etc., KCP, they have guys who can defend, but they're like one of the worst defending teams in the league since the All-Star break. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if the players are just not trying anymore. I don't know, because they have guys who have some size to them who should be able to defend, but they just can't do it. I don't understand what's going on there. So I got to see what's going on first before I get all excited. I really have to see what they do in the offseason.
Yeah, definitely. I got bamboozled and hoodwinked after the 10-3 start. I was like, man, we're a legitimate defensive team. Got a great new head coach. We got dogs.
Yeah, bullish was our buzzword earlier, man. We was feeling bullish.
50 wins. We're gonna be a 4th and 5th seed in the East. We just beat the Celtics twice. We beat the Pacers. We beat the Miami Heat. I mean, things were looking good. Trez and Brad were doing a press conference. But to get back to the question, I'm cautiously optimistic. Also, not mystics, but optimistic. Porzingis, he showed some good things, and then he showed some of his flaws. We've seen some good things. Mm-hmm. We've seen some times where we do want him to be a little strong in the post. We know that's not his game. It's a finesse game. He's not going to body anybody in the post, but there are some games where, he gets the ball at the high post, and he's unstoppable. The Lakers game is what we're looking for from him, where he put up 27 points. And he dominated the first half of the Rockets game. I thought he was done. He had 4 or 5 blocks in the first half against the Rockets. And then next thing you know, Christian Wood goes up and dunks on him. And then it's we just didn't see much from anybody, Kristaps included. So, and then Bradley Beal, we still don't know what he's going to do. Can we really build around him? And then once again, are we going to get another point guard that is good on one team and then he comes here and it just doesn't work out, Mm-hmm. So a lot of questions. Wes Unseld Jr. on year 2. How is he going to develop as a coach? Is he going to get a different guy on his staff, like another assistant coach? It's just a lot of questions. Is Denny going to develop? How is Rui going to develop Kispert? If we are going to trade and get somebody else in here, they got to give up guys. One of the young guys is probably going to have to move. So it's going to be a different roster. Bradley Beal went on the show the other night talking about we need dogs. We just don't have enough of them. So once we see some more moves being made, some draft picks being made, or whatever happens, or Tommy Shepard decides to do, or Bradley Beal, who is the player GM as well, then we can get a little excited. But once again, you still have to be cautious with the Wizards. You have to be. You just cannot go into a season saying, "Hey," And the East is getting better. That's the tough part too. Like the East is getting better, man. It's not the East of 2015 or 16 where teams can have a 37-45 record and make the playoffs. Like, no, you gotta have like a 43-39 record just to be the 8th seed or top a winning record. So it's just getting tougher. But I am encouraged by Chris Evans. If he can stay healthy, I think he can be really good. But we do need a point guard really, really badly, like really bad. They can facilitate the offense. They don't have to be an all-star point guard. I would love to get an all-star type. Of course, everybody wants to bring up John Wall. We'll see. I highly doubt it happens, but we do need a point guard that can run the offense and get guys involved.
Yeah.
Great question. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying that. Yeah, as far as the East is getting better, I completely agree. I mean, the only two like really, really bad teams are the Magic and the Pistons. I mean, Indiana. I mean, they're on the rebuild, but they have talent over there. So I mean, then you have the Knicks, who I mean fell off badly, but still outside of the Pistons and the Magic, who have games where they play hard. Everybody else is, hey, you got to play. You got to play hard, man. There's no more, like you said, 5 teams, 6 teams, 7 teams. It's just all below 500 and whatnot, and it's barely sneaking in. So I don't know, man. It's definitely getting tough. They got to figure it out.
Right, yeah. Brooklyn 38-34. They're over 4 games, and we're 30-41. We're 5 games behind the 10th. So yeah, it's no more of that having a losing record and making the playoffs for the Eastern Conference anymore. So last question from Brandon, and then we'll do a quick preview for the Bucks game. We'll see. I think we kind of know what's going to happen with that game. But this from Brandon Scott. He says, if indeed the Wizards, after signing Bradley Beal to the Supermax, want to build a big 3, do they already have one in Bradley Beal, Kristaps, Porzingis, and Kyle Kuzma, or do we make a move for an all-star quality point guard or a 3-and-D wing to make one?
I don't think the big 3 of Kuzma, Brad, and KP, I don't think that's like a 3 that people look at and are like, oh yeah, that's a legitimate contender, big 3 right there. So I do think that a move would have to be made. I don't know for who. I don't know what star guard. I know a lot of people brought up Malcolm Brogdon, but I mean, he has injury history, etc. I don't think the Spurs will be willing to part ways with Dejounte Murray. So I don't know. I know I used to talk about guys like Karl-Anthony Towns, but the Timberwolves have turned it around. They're competitive. They play good ball. So I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, I don't think this big 3 is like contender. Like, yeah, this team can contend. That big 3 can contend. I definitely think they need to add somebody who's like, I always say somebody who's better than Bradley Beal. Like, I don't think Bradley Beal can be the best guy on your team if you're talking about like serious contendership. I don't think Bradley Beal could be the best player on that team. So I would say naturally, if I'm going to take any Wizards big 3 serious as far as a like really serious playoff contender, I would say they need to get somebody who I can clearly say is better than Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Them getting somebody better than Brad. Yeah, it's just not gonna. He's gonna be the number 1 guy on the team, and he's gonna get paid like it as well. But as far as like the big 3, I wouldn't call it a big 3. It would be a solid big 3. Bill is an all-star. Porzingis made an all-star in his career. Kyle Kuzma did play at an all-star level at the second half of the year. He definitely did. I was very impressed with Kuzma with what he did. So I would say a solid 3, not a big 3, but a solid 3. And then you got to build around that. You got to get some shooters around that. You got to get a point guard that can set the table, can facilitate. They don't have to be an all-star quality. Of course, like I said, with the last question, I would love for it to be an all-star type of point guard. But you look at the free agents that are available, it's just not much. Jalen Brunson is probably the top of the free agent point guard list. And who's after that? Like Goran Dragic, guys like that. And then there's just not a lot of guys available. Like you brought up Dejounte, but what are we going to give up for him? I just think the Spurs it wouldn't be in their best interest to trade him, especially after he made an all-star. His first all-star game, and he played really, really well in the game too. And he's just showing that he belongs. But you got like mid-tier guys like Ricky Rubio, DeLon Wright, and Tyus Jones. Patty Mills is okay. But none of these guys are like, wow, okay, this is going to really turn his team into a contender. but I think we're going to try to model ourselves after the Bulls, what they did with adding Alonzo Ball. Maybe you could get like a mid-solid point guard. Like Lonzo Ball's not an all-star, but he's a good point guard. So I think that's the approach that we're going to try to go after and try to get somebody either via trade or in free agency. So, but we'll see. They're not a big three, but they're a solid three.
Yeah, that's a great term to use right there. A solid three. I think they're a solid three. They're not a big three. A solid three. I like that.
Yeah. We're going to get a quick word from Dialante, and then we're going to do a quick preview and wrap it up.
It's that time of year again as college basketball's tournament is finally upon us. From all the latest odds, contests, and player props, BetOnline.net is the number one source for all your sports betting needs and info. BetOnline remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. It is not just basketball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
All right, so what's your keys to victory against the Bucks, and what do you see happening?
Keys to the game, I mean, move the ball around like you were trying to do, like you were doing against the Rockets in the first half. Move the ball around, be active defensively like they were in the first half of the Rockets game. And pray, because it's going to be a tough ass getting past the Bucks, man. It really is. Because we're accustomed to seeing the second half of that Rockets game, that Wizards team. We're more accustomed to seeing that as of late than the first half. They were acting different in that first half against the Rockets. But, I mean, they got to try their best to defend the paint, which is going to be a tough ass with Giannis. And they got to defend the three-point line. I say the same things every time. In every game, they struggle to defend the three-point line. Guys are wide open, taking practice shots, and then they defend struggling in the paint. I expect Giannis Antetokounmpo to drop 35 to 40 points. Could drop 50 if he wanted to. So it's going to be tough, man. It's really going to be tough, but try to move the ball. Try to be active defensively and defend the paint and the three to the best of your abilities. Let's not give up 50% from the field and 50% from the three this game.
Giannis actually did not play against the Timberwolves. I just looked at their last game. They lost 119-138. So we might catch a break there. But honestly, we just care about developing. We just want to see what Rui, Denny, and Corey can do, and just let the lottery odds fall where they may. But yeah, the Bucks, they're just a better team, flat out. They just are. So yeah, once again, like you said, just try to run the floor, push the pace, let Denny get some rebounds and push it to KP. That's when we were at our best in the first half. Facilitate the ball to Rui, get some open shots for Corey. If Ish and Sato can play like they did in that Lakers game, just defend, create some steals, create some fast break points. Gafford run the floor. KP take over in the fourth. Kuzma, we'll see if he plays. I really think they're just shutting him down, so Denny can get more playing time. So I don't expect Kuzma to play. I don't know if they will or not. It'll probably be another game time decision. But yeah, let's play with some pride, man. Let's try not to let somebody score 45, 50 points. It's going to be tough on Giannis. They may have to go zone here and there, but the Bucks, they can shoot threes, so I would try to switch it up. West, try to switch it up. Let's try to run a little zone here, switch it up. Give them a different look here and there. Let's just not let guys just get open lanes and open threes every time. So that's what I would say. And just play hard, man. And we know the lottery and the play-in is out of reach. We're 5 games behind, but let's see what the young guys can do and develop, and to see Denny play with some more confidence. I just want to see confidence and aggressiveness from the three young guys.
Yeah, and apparently Giannis is playing tonight against the Bulls. I just looked at the injury report. He's probable. So, I mean, unless they just want to let him rest against the Wizards, I mean, he should be there because he'll be there tonight against the Bulls. So, like you said, just compete. Just compete, man. That's all I can ask for.
Right. Well, thank you guys once again. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Locked On NBA. Locked On experts covering the biggest stories around the NBA every Monday through Friday in less than 30 minutes. It's free and available wherever you get podcasts. And we're going to see you guys after the Bucks game. Thank you for listening once again. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube and hit the notification bell. Hell to the Wizards.